Thank you again for being here. I know everyone's saying that, but it's impressive to see people interested in this election. I'm currently serving on the City Council from the 3rd District, and I've enjoyed serving on the Council for the past 2 years and look forward to hopefully doing so again. Currently, I serve on the Bristol Development Authority, the Bristol Community Organization, the Disability Commission, the Pine Lake Committee, and 2 City Council committees, the Real Estate Committee and the Salary Committee. I look forward to continuing to serve on committees and perhaps different ones because I've learned great things being on those committees, and particularly the ones that have our citizens involved. I'm a lawyer and I work for the state of Connecticut at the Waterbury Courthouse. My husband David and I raised 6 children, and we want Bristol to be a place where our children and our grandchildren want to live and come back to.
The state of Connecticut often ranks low when it comes to promoting and fostering a business-friendly environment. And Bristol is sometimes viewed as uninviting or over-regulated, which can hinder business development and growth. If elected, what would you do to improve the climate, structure, and processes in Bristol to attract new businesses and support growth of jobs and our economy?
You know, the first group that was up here did talk about some of our processes in City Hall. There is confusion sometimes, and we do have to streamline our government. We have to have them working together so that we can be inviting to folks in our community. I currently serve on the Bristol Development Authority, the BDA, and that's really their primary purpose. And I think they're doing great things right now. The staff there works hard at business development every day. They talk to people, they bring people around. We heard them talking about some of the things they've done, literally walking people through the process, and we have to do more of that. They've started a new business plan competition called Startup Bristol. They're literally created a committee of entrepreneurs who are conducting this competition, and that the first round of this competition was due in August. They received 37 business plan models from individuals who want to come to Bristol. That's exciting. I mean, they were concerned at first, maybe we're not going to get anyone to apply for this competition, but they have 37 applicants that they're going to have to willow down. So people do want to come to Bristol. Again, I think sometimes it's perception, it's not the reality. And that's something our marketing committee is working on. And it's not going to happen overnight, but these are the steps we have to take, and they're going to work together, and I'm hopefully be part of the process as we continue to do that. Again, we all do want the best for Bristol, and I don't really consider these rebuttals, but my additional time, I wanted to follow up on something Bob said about the land use boards. We do need qualified people, and obviously people who have experience, background that can help them on those boards is helpful. But we also need to, I think, train people on our boards better. And this really goes for all boards, not just our land use boards. I feel like people come forward, they want to help out, and it's a big learning curve. They have to figure out what the process is that they're working with. They have to figure out the rules that govern that process. And I think we could do a better job of training our citizen board members.
There has been a lot of debate over privatization of our schools' cafeteria services. Do you believe it is appropriate for people and organizations outside the Board of Ed, such as the Mayor, City Council, Board of Finance, and others, to participate in this debate, or leave it to the Education Department and Board of Ed to work through the process unencumbered by outside influences?
This is an interesting question because it doesn't really ask what we think about the privatization of cafeteria workers. It asks about whether we should be part of the debate. And I just don't understand why that would even be a question, because I think we're all part of the debate. I think everyone in this room is entitled to be part of the debate. We all know what the Board of Education's role is and the City Council's role, and we know they're two different things. We know the Board of Education gets to make the decisions about how to spend Board of Ed money. But we also know that they come to the city for the funding, for the money. And so as an elected city councilor, I think I absolutely have a right to be part of that discussion. I've gone to Board of Ed meetings and I've spoken on the record. I've spoken about the fact that my parents were both city employees employed by the Board of Education. You know, when I was a junior in high school, my sister was involved in a serious motor vehicle accident that caused my mother to retire early. If my father didn't have health insurance, the great health insurance that the Board of Ed was able to provide, her accident would have devastated our family. I was a senior in high school. I wouldn't have been able to go to college. I got to go to Boston College and have a great life and a great future, raise great kids here in Bristol. And, you know, there's a connection between that health care, and that's something that I think our cafeteria workers are entitled to. These cafeteria moms have not been guaranteed jobs with the private company. The private company has said that they will interview them and that they will try to hire as many of them, but they are not guaranteed. And the most recent iteration we've seen shows that they will not have health insurance for a year, that they'll have to work for this company for a year before they're eligible for health care. And I think that's very important. These are our neighbors, our moms, our cousins, our sisters, and we're the second largest employer in this city. How we treat our employees matters, and it's starting to beep at me. It matters a lot. It matters for the example we're setting, and it matters for our children. They're in our school with our children, and as a mom, I'll tell you, cafeteria moms are important, and I think every mom in this room knows that. I want to thank you again for being here, and you know, I've always been interested in politics since I was a little kid. I know I'm one of those nerds. There's a few here in the room. I know there are. And I always hoped I could run for political office. But that plan was sidetracked for many years due to the fact that I had a lot of family responsibilities. My husband David and I raised 6 kids, and now that they're adults, I'm able to devote time to being on the council, and I found it very rewarding. When Ellen first asked me to run with her in 2013 in the 3rd District, I was really excited with the opportunity to serve with her. To me, Ellen represents the very best things about what politics can be. She is smart, she's hardworking, and she cares so much about Bristol. And I know I'm supposed to be up here, you know, plugging myself and asking you to support me. I think that everyone here cares about Bristol. But in order to be successful in city government, you have to have real leadership skills. You have to know how government works. You have to know what questions to ask. You have to know who to ask. You have to be willing to cull through all the information we get as city councilors to find the answers to your questions to make the best decisions. In other words, you might have a vision and a plan, but getting it done takes something more. It takes leadership. And I hope through everyone you're going to listen to tonight, the ones that have come before and the ones that are coming, you're going to see that there are some real leaders, and I'm so excited about the team we have. As you can guess, I'm very excited about the possibility of Ellen being mayor, but I'm excited about all these council candidates because they're hardworking and they're willing to do the work, and that really makes the difference. That's the difference between wanting Bristol to be better and really making Bristol better.